It's the Extremist. It's the Extremist movie debate, and tonight we're talking 2003's Love. Actually,
I'm Joe.
I'm Ethan. One of us is gonna love it. One of us is gonna hate it.
let the
Hey
cards have their
guys.
fate.
Oh, sorry.
I love it.
I hate it. Hey guys, don't let your creepy stepdad give you a bunch of sex advice when you're 9 years old. There's spoilers ahead.
No sex advice, ever.
Oh,
And this,
Love advice.
a bunch of sex advice.
this movie currently holds a 63% on Rotten Tomatoes, which makes it fresh. Joe, since you hate this movie, this question comes to you. This comes from Andrew Saris.
Who?
Sarris.
Solaris.
This comes from Amy Sedaris of New York Observer. Andrew says, all in all, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie until in the end, it went somewhat bonkers with what amounted to a communal love fest on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So we live in an era where there are a ton of these kind of ensemble love films that in the end all come together in the most convenient ways. How do you feel about using that trope? You have 1 minute.
Well, this was, I mean, unfortunately, like all those movies are bad because they ring inauthentically. Because life doesn't. That's not how life works. Like life does not come to a peak like this climax, especially when you have a bunch of different. Climax, something Jeff doesn't know anything about. Something, I mean, you don't, in real life, like, everybody's life isn't going to come to this perfect conclusion at the exact same time on Christmas Eve of all days. Like, it's just too simple, it's too romantic, and I think that's the key is, like, when you're making a romantic movie, you want to try to, like, bring it down to earth and actually make it relatable and make it so people can actually connect to it, and that's not what this movie does, because everything is too convenient. And I don't like this movie especially because this was kind of like the start of it, because after this you got the New Year's Eves and you got the Valentine's Days and the Mother's Days, and this is what really started the whole mudslide of like shitty romantic ensemble movies, and I don't like it.
Okay, thank you. Ethan, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Don't blame Richard Curtis for Gary Marshall's sins. This movie is not an absolute love fest at the end. There is some happy moments, and there's a nice little montage of a lot of people getting the things that they've wanted most of the movie, but they're also working hard for it. Kid dives through security, a guy learns a foreign language, but also this movie's about heartbreak. It's about love, the good and the bad. You have Laura Linney, who cannot love the person that she wants to love because she has to love her brother who's in a hospital. You have Emma Thompson, whose husband has cheated on her and has to learn to live with her family and live with him.
Okay, thank you, Ethan.
That.
I got to cut you off there. Joe, you have 15 seconds to respond.
Yeah, but Emma Stone.
Close, same person.
She. They're not getting divorced, dude. They're gonna work that out. 20 years down the line, they're gonna live
Joe.
lovebirds.
Ethan, you have a final 15 to respond.
They can't get divorced that late. It's just financially unsound. I mean, don't be ludicrous about it. Don't be common about it.
Okay, Ethan, this next question comes to you.
It's down that tape.
And there was no author of this question, so this just comes from the Singularity, from Time Out. The Singularity says, this is an embarrassment. An overdrawn rom-com gone wrong.
Wow, that was good.
In romantic comedies, you have to take certain leaps and, kind of coincidences to make the overall plot roll along just fine. How do you feel as just, not a Christmas movie, but as a romantic comedy, this movie, how do you think it holds its own? You have 1 minute.
I think that you have remarkably well developed storylines, given how much screen time is given to each one. And there's, like 8 going on in this movie, and all of them feel very fleshed out, more so than actual regular movies do. So that is commendable. I think that it's also really important to say again that this movie goes through all aspects of love, not just the nice, fluffy, touchy-feely parts. So you also have lots of very awful sadness in this movie, and I think that is what draws people to it, because it does make it relatable to a larger audience, having these stories that people can see in their own lives, and having stories that people can help. It helps reflect the things that other people have gone through.
Okay, perfect. Joe, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Yeah, I mean, that's all well and good if they were actually to make it like I don't know, relatable and like an actual like realistic movie. But at the end, when you have everything coming to a head and everything working out for a lot of people, not everybody, sure, but for the majority of them, all on Christmas Eve, they're all working out. Their lives are working out perfectly on Christmas Eve. Can't buy it. I think it's too far-fetched and too ridiculous.
Okay, Ethan, you have 15 seconds to respond.
I mean, it's not the movie's fault that you don't believe in the spirit of Christmas and how Christmas works. I rest my case.
Joe, you have a final 15?
Ethan believes in a spaghetti monster in the sky.
Didn't say that, but I certainly do believe in Christmas.
Christmas. Okay, well, we're going to open up the floor. You guys have 4 minutes to discuss and go.
Do you want to know what I actually really hate about this movie?
Do tell.
This movie like posits this world where British people are like have a cornerstone on the holiday spirit and on love, whereas guess
This
what?
should be America.
No,
Are you saying that this movie's a war on Christmas?
I'm saying this movie is a war on America because we get we get 3 American characters. One of them's this lustful womanizer, President Billy Bob Thornton, and then you get Laura Linney.
Not far-fetched anymore.
Laura Linney, very selfish, just cares about her own family, doesn't give a shit about the people around her. And then her brother is like, just kind of a bad guy.
Yeah.
He just doesn't. He's out of touch with reality.
Well, I
And
think that
that's
the other
issue.
guy is, the typical college guy. Yes, he is.
What other guy?
You're talking about Colin, God of Sex.
No, yeah.
I think
So
that
Colin's
he is
another British
perverted.
guy
However,
who invades America
you know
to
what happens?
slay all of our women.
Is he can't get what he wants in England, and so he goes to America and gets exactly what he wants
With no problem.
instantaneously.
With no problem.
And that's the
This
best
movie's
joke of
saying
this
that
movie. So if you're trying to make
Americans
a
are
case
They're
that this
trying to
movie
say
is
Americans are dumb
anti-America, then
and
this movie...
loose.
No, what it's
What are you
actually
talking
saying
about? He
is
gets
that...
the dumbest character.
All it's saying is that Americans are fastidious.
The dumbest character in this movie comes to America and all of his dreams come true because our women are loose.
I don't
and we're
understand how that's
stupid.
bashing
bad
America.
Thing. It's bashing America, so they're saying like,
No, come
anybody
to
with half a
America.
brain,
You're
anybody
literally
with
the
half a
American
brain.
dream can happen.
Hey,
Great.
Hey,
That's
America.
an awesome story.
Hey,
and then everybody
America.
else that hangs out in their own country and doesn't become a dirty, filthy immigrant also gets to stay and have their dreams managed.
Don't say
wonderful.
filthy immigrant. Don't be offensive. This movie's basically saying
Started
like,
it.
this movie's basically saying like, hey, dum-dum, you want loose women? Come to America, because that's all we got. Anybody with half a brain just takes advantage of women. That's what this movie's saying, and I don't like it because I'm an American.
That's cool.
And I pledge allegiance to our flag.
So you definitely favor the country,
I
the country that is giving everybody everything they ever wanted. You favor that in this movie. You think that it's being vilified.
It is being
and
vilified.
You also
because
just assume hate
not,
love.
No, because he's swooping in. He's not getting everything he wanted. He's swooping in. He's taking it because they're too dumb to realize what's happening to them.
I think that they're actually probably more active than he is in that
What
scene.
are you even talking about?
I think they're the ones
yeah,
that
because
say,
all they're doing
you know
is
what?
saying,
don't
say
go to
table.
the hotel.
Oh, table.
Come home
oh,
with
say
us.
hotel.
Unfortunately, there's so many of us. We all have to sleep in the same bed because we're
And we're
we don't-
naked because we're loose, dumb women.
No,
and
that's
this
not what they're
movie
saying.
talks down
They
to
all say,
Americans.
you know,
and I don't
unfortunately,
appreciate it.
There's not
It's
that much room in our
bullshit,
bed, and
I don't like
unfortunately,
it.
we all sleep naked. But hey, we're gonna give you a place to stay because bring on your tired, your poor, your hungry, your huddled masses. So
See, you're trying to church it up, and it's still not
I'm just trying to say
good.
that
It's
America
still sounding bad.
is still the best, and America is still the
Not
best in this
not
movie
according
about
to
British
this movie.
people.
No, according to this movie, America is just a bunch of dumb vessels for Colin's penis.
Okay, well, on that note, what do you guys really feel about this movie?
I have always loved this movie.
When I was in high school, my mom and my aunt were like, we're going to go see Love Actually. Did you want to come? And I think they were expecting me to say no, but then I was just like, I like movies. So we went, and I ended up loving the movie when I was like 16. And ever since that moment, I've really liked this movie.
Yeah. I rented it because I liked Bridget Jones's Diary as a 16-year-old, I believe. Sorry. Still do.
Apologize.
Rewatched it. Still good. But anyways, same guy who wrote and directed this wrote that movie. Well, adapted it. But still, same tone.
I think we can all agree that Rick sucks. Like, right? His character's a horrible man.
I don't think he's a horrible man.
Oh, he sucks.
He's terrible.
Do you remember that part?
No.
Are you talking about the
his
flashcard part?
Yeah,
That's pretty shitty, yeah.
His best friend wife who just got married, he's got a big crush on her, so he goes and like holds up a bunch of flashcards like professing his love.
Oh yeah, the flashcard part.
Yeah.
I definitely have seen this movie.
But it's not like he's like angrily pursuing her or
Jeff,
anything.
you
It's
should
like
watch it.
You know,
I
she finds
have.
out he's just been quietly minding his own business. She finds out that he has a crush on her, and she says, I'm just going to go say the things I want to say, and I'm just going to leave it at that. He's not expecting anything to come of it, and it's another sort of like adorably tragic story of this movie, is that like he's going to understand that nothing is going to come of this because it's his best friend, and he doesn't ever want to get in between the relationship, but he still wants to say what he wants to say, and then move on.
Yeah, nothing like The Room.
Yeah, so no,
I mean, like it's shady, it's weird, it's kind of gross, but like it's not horrible.
and like Ethan was saying, like not every single story in this movie is a happy one, or like an uplifting one. Like a lot of these like threads end on a downer, and I think that's important to like focus on because this movie is somewhat realistic, I guess. I mean, parts of it. I mean, it's a movie.
Oh no, it's a fanciful mess.
No,
but
it's fanciful, but I think it's more relatable and more realistic than other movies had somebody else tried to make this movie.
My favorite part is that the title sounds like someone mansplaining. Or
I mean,
love,
actually, it is because it's Hugh Grant in the beginning. Yeah, you're not wrong. No, you're right. Like it hits that point where you have like Laura Linney all of a sudden chooses her brother over the guy she loves, and then immediately cuts to Emma Thompson.
Loves. She's
Joni
just
Mitchell.
another sorry vessel that just wants to.
Okay,
be.
sure, but the person she thinks she loves lusts after whatever. Then it cuts to Emma Thompson, who's dealing with, oh, my husband cheated on me, and sadly just undressing, listening to Joni Mitchell alone in a bedroom. Like,
Yeah,
it's right at the end of the second act. Like this movie just really hits a few beats. Like, oh, love sucks too.
Her opening that Joni Mitchell CD, it might be one of the most heartbreaking things just in cinema.
Okay, well, what would you guys rate the movie?
I'd give it an 8 out of 10 with a bit of thunder.
Likewise, 8 out of 10. I still watch it just about every year.
Yeah, the same, because I've definitely seen it. Where can we find you guys?
You can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Instagram,
Twitter.
you can find us on Twitter.
emd.pantspending.com.
Thanks, Pants Fitting.
Artificialwood.pantspending.com.
Thank you, Justin Hines of Somewhere in Siberia, for our intro and outro music.
Like and subscribe, request some movies.
Thank you, Mitch Davis, for our graphics.
Greg something from the Big Smoke.
Greg
Greg
Girding
Girding.
from the Big Smoke. Thank you.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Oh, my knee.